All right. Well, I will reopen the meeting commenced on August 5th, 2025. And for the first order of business, I will call the roll of members who are participating remotely. Carrie Brown.
Yes, Carrie Brown. I'm here.
Tom Apfelnauer.
Present.
Sarah Carter.
I'm here.
Marty Lagerstadt.
Here.
And I think that's it.
Sarah.
Oh,
You got Sarah?
yes, I got Sarah.
Oh, okay.
I got you, Sarah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad.
We're proceeding based on the agenda of last time, which means that we're here to take reports and take action on a series of appeals by
And they get to talk again, so.
Yep. By, do we say Overlook Lake Park and other property owners? And I assume you received the reports.
You did, thank you.
And so we'll open the floor for any comments or argument you'd like to make.
So obviously, we thank you again for volunteering to do this and taking your time to inspect the properties. We do have comments on two physical aspects of two properties, and Jesse will talk about that. But in general, I guess what we've asked while the board is deliberating, we'd ask them to consider Ron Weil's dissent in the report that for the properties that he inspected with two other members, and because they do encapsulate the issues that we have and have presented, and that is the city is using projected rents which are not a reality of what is being charged for the properties. They're based upon a series of surveys that we have in our court case for other reasons that we were able to show that just they do not reflect what actual rents were and also what market rents were, and that and therefore the multipliers to generate the income that they're projecting is just not based in reality. But the second and biggest picture, and why this appeal is being made, even though we had a last appeal in 23 that would, depending on the outcome of that, would continue to affect 24 and 25, we decided to appeal this year because there has been a substantial and material factor that occurred between April 1st of 2023 and April 1st of 2025, and that was the flood. And we can all, you know, experts can talk about what properties are going to sell for or not sell for or whatever. But I think if any of you ask yourself, if you were going to buy a house and it has been flooded twice in the last 15 years, would you pay the same amount for that house than a house that might be uphill and never not flooded? You're just not going to. No one is going to. The risks of flooding are there. The risks of flooding are going to come again. And therefore, a person who, the question is, what is the fair market value of the property? And what would somebody buy these properties for as of last April? Well, anybody buying the property last April is going to take into account the risk that a flood might come again, that they're going to pay, they're already going to pay a lot more in flood insurance. And that risk now has become exacerbated by the fact that the costs of repairs and materials have gone up, and that the regulatory requirements for repairing flooded properties require all sorts of changes that weren't there before. So anyone buying a property is just going to take those into account. What that percentage is we're seeing, obviously, we provided some evidence that people are paying a lot less than the assessed value for properties. But one of the reasons that we can't show that in detail is nothing is selling. And that by itself is an indicator that the market, that people aren't buying. So anyway, we'd ask you to consider those two items as you deliberate. And Jesse wants to address physical conditions of two properties.
Yeah, thanks for that, Leon. Thank you all again for being here and for the time that you took to take a look at the properties. Just two of the properties where there was some discrepancy about the physical condition. I know in most of them we were not saying that there was any discrepancy, but at 70 Main Street, which is our property where Charlie O's was, the second floor, there was a fire next door at Mad Taco. And so our second floor office space and storage there is still not being used. There's bad smoke damage. It has not been repaired. And so I think the folks who walked through probably noticed that when they were there, and I wanted to just bring that to the board's attention. And then the other property is 139 Main Street. And so that property, after the flood, there had been about 2,700 square feet of finished basement space, 2 bathrooms down there, kind of a coat room, and then a finished area for, I guess if you were a very popular deceased, maybe you had overflow down in the basement. But all of that now has been stripped to the studs. There's no heating system down there, no insulation. That portion of the building, though it was finished prior to the flood, no longer is. And so I did want to bring up that point about the physical characteristic of that building.
And that's the funeral parlor, right?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Council member, board members, any questions to start out with? Or comments or thoughts? Marty, do you have anything to say in response? I should have asked you that first, I guess.
Yeah, I was at 139 Main Street after the 23 reappraisal. And when I visited that property, I don't know if anybody has the record card in front of you, but we lowered that value by probably $150,000 because at the time it was in the same condition that it is now, where the basement had no finish. It was basically used as, I would call it, a storage shed at the time that I visited it. So there was no need to readjust the value because it was already adjusted after the, Jesse and I went there after the 23 appraisal during the grievance period. And 70 Main Street, the Charlie O's building, that smoke damage was accounted for. We talked about that at the original MBCA hearing, where every other property was under appeal, so the changes couldn't be made, but that one did suffer fire damage. It was lowered. It was then raised back up once the bar was reopened, but it wasn't raised to where it was 100% before the fire.
So it's your position that these points are already reflected in the assessment?
Yeah, and the original, the time to bring up, if there was an issue with physical condition of the property, the grievance period would have been the time to bring that up. I mean, it's fine to do it now, but typically those are brought up at the original grievance hearing. And I think that they've been addressed.
Okay, thanks. Council members, now it's up to us to deliberate, or board members, and decide. Does anyone want to start us off? Okay, Ron, go.
Well, I saw the applicant shaking.
Speak up.
I saw the applicant shaking his head during Marty's testimony. Can he respond or is that not, or is?
Yeah, if
He did
Jesse,
already.
if you dispute what Marty just said,
Yeah, Marty is right. The first floor was used as warehouse space and I had opened it up so that we could use it as that, but the downstairs was all finished. And that was finished until the flood. So he maybe is misremembering the condition of the downstairs of the building.
okay, that's not what I got from Marty's testimony, but thanks for that. Donna,
Just as someone who inspected that property, I mean, we didn't note it verbally because it was mentioned, I thought before, it was already taken into account. So we didn't describe all the rooms because they were what we felt had been described. So I'm sorry if you feel we didn't note that because we did, I think.
I also went with Donna and I concur with what she just said.
anybody else? And I'll keep remembering to check with people online to make sure I don't overlook anybody.
Did we want to talk about resale values after the flood, or are you guys all set with that?
Well, I think that by reading the opinions or the reports, there is only one person who was in essentially in agreement with the appellant, but I want to give everyone a chance to be heard if they have a point they want to make. Mary.
Raised the issue again, and I just wondered if Marty had a response to that in the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as sales of properties or condition, I
No,
didn't catch that.
resale, the resale values, flood.
Yeah, so I mean, I have the ones that are on the reports, but since then, the Walgreens building, besides City Hall, just sold for 31% over market value. They have filed a permit to add about $500,000 renovation to that property. I also have 149 Main Street was the old, I think it was Zallinger building. It was a former attorney building that has a permit filed to become a 9 or 10 unit boutique hotel. So, Pat Malone must have some idea that commercial properties downtown are worth investing in. He is also turning the old Hugo's building into 25 office suites. So there is still, I have permits on file for plenty of investment downtown.
I would just respond a little bit to that. Well, Mr. Murphy said that if you're considering buying a house and you had a choice between buying one right downtown where it might be vulnerable to a flood, or one half mile away where it's not vulnerable to a flood, that would change your calculus of what you're going to be, or where you might want to buy. I think this is a little different situation because these are all commercial properties where a lot of the value is based on the fact that they're right downtown, and that's where people are going to be. That's the relevant market, not build properties that are farther out. Ron.
We're in the realm of opinion here and not hard data. And Marty gave some examples. Marty gave some examples of buildings that have recently sold, but all we have to do is walk through downtown and we still see empty storefronts of buildings that haven't sold. The East State Street, the independent living building, that's still without buyer, I believe. The old credit union building at Bailey and East and State, I think, is still without a buyer. Essentially,
That's been sold.
So has it?
It's been
I know it was sold and then it fell through and so.
So they're renovating it right now. It's gonna be a butcher shop, I believe, or seafood thing. Pat Malone property.
Yeah. So my point is that you could just as easily argue that people are skittish about paying full dollar downtown. I would be.
Well, other than the average storefront is more empty downtown than you think. You're just more aware of it because of the flood. I mean, at any given time, it seemed to me we always had four or five empty. So it's, it's the averaging out.
It's not quite the same thing as for sale city.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention to the real estate then, so I don't know. I don't have that in my head.
Anybody else have anything to add to this conversation before we take a vote, before we? All right, does somebody want to, let's see, how should we do this? Should we do each one of these separately?
Yeah, I would think so. I think each of
Each of the committees?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the first one I have here is the report for 26 to 42 State Street, 41 to 45 State Street, and 5 to 7 State Street. That's the one that Sal, Ron, and I inspected. Would someone like to move to accept that report?
I will move that we accept the report.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? I think this is not going to be a unanimous vote, so I'll call the roll, starting with the people online. Sarah Carter. You're muted.
I accept the report.
Hey, Carrie?
I'm going to abstain from this one because I didn't see the, that part of the meeting.
Yes. Tom?
I abstain.
Okay. Donna?
I accept the report.
Val?
I accept it.
Jude?
I accept the report.
Sal? I accept the report. Ben?
I accept the report.
Mary?
Accept the report.
Ron? No. Bob?
I abstain. I didn't make it through the whole,
Okay, thanks. So this one is accepted. Are you keeping track of the numbers? Okay, good. The next report is the report from Ben, Paige Curtin, and Val Lewis, 2 to 4 Spring Street and 70 Main Street. Is there a motion to approve this report?
Approve this report. I'll second it.
All right, again, I'll start with the people online. Sarah?
I accept the report.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tom?
I abstain.
Donna?
Yes.
Val?
Yes.
Jude?
Yes.
Sal? Yes. Ben?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Ron? Abstain. Bob?
thing.
Okay, thank you. Next up is the report from Donna Bates, Sarah Carter, and Jude Newman for properties at 139 Main Street, 4 Langland Street, and 15 Barry Street. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept this report.
I'll second.
All right, going to the people online first. Sarah?
I accept this report.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tom?
I abstain.
Okay, Donna?
Yes.
Val?
Yes.
Jude?
Yes.
Sal?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Ron?
Abstain.
Bob?
Abstain.
Okay, motion carries for that one. The next is the report from Elaine Ball, Carrie Brown, and Mary Hooper for subject properties at 28 to 30, 40, and 54 Main Street.
44.
Oh, 44, sorry, thank you for the correction. Is there a motion to approve this?
Make a motion to approve this report.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, going to the online folks first. Sarah,
I accept this report.
Carrie,
Yes.
Tom,
I abstain.
Donna,
Yes.
Val,
Yes.
Jude,
Yes.
Sal?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Ron? Abstain. Bob? And it is approved. And I believe that's everything.
Yes. We will just, check the list. Yeah, there was just other business. Done.
Okay, well, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
I appreciate your presentation.
We'll get you the official reports. There's.
Great.
All right,
Have a good holiday.
thanks, you too.
Yeah, thank you.
And the problem is the next week,
Because,
because I had no idea it would go this quickly, so it is warned for 7:10.
so we can't go, we can't start it yet.
We shouldn't go until
Right.
7:10. That's 15 minutes. What's that? Right. Thank you. Yeah, that's part of it's the voter roll, and then the other part is giving me the authority to challenge voters when appropriate, which is just one of those things we should do from time to time. So,
See you guys.
yeah, sorry about this, folks. I had it scheduled for half an hour and I just thought, no way.
So I think what we found was that people had thought about it beforehand and weren't really wanting to change their thoughts, so.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we can, 6:56 PM, we are adjourned.